Apple has a major new update for the Apple Vision Pro that just got released in beta, and I'm going to break down everything that's new. Let's be honest, Apple Vision Pro hasn't exactly been evolving at a rapid pace since its launch a year ago. It's had a few solid updates, but for a lot of people, it still feels like a really cool prototype, one with huge potential, but isn't quite there yet. However, Apple's looking to change this with visionOS 2.4, which brings a lot of quality of life improvements that make using the Vision Pro way more convenient or way less annoying, depending on how you look at it, while also making it easier to find content optimized for the headset and even bringing Apple Intelligence into the fold. So what's actually new, what's useful, and what's just Apple filling in the gaps while we wait for something bigger? Let's break it all down, starting with Apple Intelligence. As we all know, Apple Intelligence is Apple's official AI rollout, and the Vision Pro is finally getting some of those features. But let's set the expectations. This is mostly Apple catching up and bringing features that already exist on the iPhone, iPad, and Mac. So for starters, we've got writing tools, which will now let you rewrite, proofread, and summarize text from anywhere in the system. So if you're drafting an email or even taking notes or writing a message, you can highlight a section and instantly get a cleaned up or more professional or more concise version. You can also optionally work with ChatGPT to edit and create content as well. Then there's Smart Reply, which works in apps like Messages and Mail, which reads your incoming messages and then suggests quick responses. And I think on the Vision Pro, this may be more useful than on other platforms, specifically because it's more difficult to type on the keyboard when you're using the Vision Pro headset as opposed to something like a Mac or an iPhone. So it's not groundbreaking, but I think it's going to definitely feel more useful in visionOS than on some of the other platforms. And then there's Genmoji, Apple's AI-generated emoji feature. Now, if I'm being real, I'm a grown-ass man who loves this feature. You can literally type out pretty much anything you want, and it'll create a brand new emoji on the fly. If you want an emoji of a confused robot wearing sunglasses, just type that in and you've got it. And the same goes for Image Playground, which is also debuting on the Vision Pro in visionOS 2.4. It lets you create those cartoony AI-generated images that you can then use in other apps like Messages, email, social media, etc. Kind of like a personal AI sticker generator. Now, until this gets better at creating more realistic options, or at least actually following the prompts you give it, because I'm still trying to get it to make people look mad or upset and not just have a dead smile on their faces, I've filed Image Playground under the novelty category for now. Now, the most interesting AI feature in this update might be the memory movie creator in Photos. Apple Intelligence will scan your photos and videos, picking the best moments, and automatically builds a cinematic memory movie with its own narrative structure based on what you ask for. And because this is on the Vision Pro, you can scale it to room size for a massive immersive playback experience. Now, I don't think any of these features are changing the game for Apple Vision Pro, but again, it's playing catch up to the Mac, to the iPhone, and to the iPad, which I think is a good thing. I personally think features like visual intelligence and ChatGPT and Siri would be way more useful here on the Vision Pro when compared to some of the other platforms, but no sign of those here just yet in visionOS 2.4. Next, one of the biggest issues with the Apple Vision Pro right now is that there just isn't enough great spatial content. Apple is trying to fix that with Spatial Gallery, a new app designed to showcase curated spatial photos, videos, and panoramas. Instead of scrolling through a generic media library, everything here is hand-picked by Apple. So you'll find content from major brands, filmmakers, and pro photographers covering things like sports, entertainment, travel, and more. The idea is to give Vision Pro users a reason to keep coming back with new content rolling out regularly. Now, this is great because one of the biggest complaints from Apple Vision Pro users is the lack of content optimized for the platform. Now, the catch. Right now, this is entirely Apple curated. You can't upload your own spatial content for others to see, which means the content here is going to be pretty controlled. It's a great idea, but if this were open to more creators, it would be even better. Imagine something like an Instagram Instagram feed from people you choose to follow, with everyone contributing spatial content. That would be incredible. And hopefully that's the future of the Spatial Gallery app. Next, Apple's launching yet another app in conjunction with visionOS 2.4. It's the Apple Vision Pro app for the iPhone. And it basically acts as a control hub. This app's gonna let you find new spatial content, remotely download apps to your Vision Pro, and manage your device settings without having to put on the headset. Having a dedicated iPhone app should make things a lot easier. If you want to browse and see what new Vision Pro content is available and you just happen to be out and about, you're at work, you're on a train, whatever, now you can do that right from your iPhone. And you can even set things to download to your Vision Pro remotely so that they're ready for you once you put the Vision Pro on. But the real question here is, will people actually use this? If it helps you discover new Vision Pro content, it could be useful. But the thing is, content needs to be released at a faster clip in order to get people coming back to an app like this. All right, next, if you've ever tried handing your Vision Pro to someone else, you know guest access has been kind of a pain. Up until now, the owner had to put the headset on first, set everything up, and then hand it over to the guest user. In visionOS 2.4, guests can now request access directly just by putting on the headset. When they do, the owner gets a pop-up card on their iPhone to approve the request, and then they can set up their parameters, like which apps the guest has access to. You can also set up the AirPlay session that allows you to see and guide what the guest user is doing while using your Vision Pro right from this card flow as well. So you can truly set up the guest experience from start to finish right from your iPhone without having to put on the headset yourself to set things up. So for setting up guest users, this is huge. This is a much improved way of doing things. Now, one limitation that remains, guest users still can't watch streaming video content from Apple TV+, Netflix, etc. while the owner is in the AirPlay session guiding them through the experience due to content rights issues. So if you were hoping to pass your Vision Pro to a friend and walk them through watching a video while sitting on top of a volcano, unfortunately, it's still not possible. But at least the overall experience of letting someone try the Vision Pro out is way smoother now. There are some other small but useful quality of life changes in visionOS 2.4 as well. Things like dictation-based text editing. I kind of mentioned this earlier, but basically you can edit text just by using your voice. There's also inline math equation solving in Notes. So basically you type out a math equation, hit the equal sign, and the Vision Pro will solve it instantly. Similar again to what we've seen on the iPhone, iPad, and Mac. Priority notifications are also coming to the Vision Pro, which is where Apple tweaks how the Vision Pro handles important alerts that come in. Again, none of these are huge on their own, but together everything is making the Apple Vision Pro feel much more polished and in line with Apple's other platforms. So is visionOS 2.4 a major step forward for the Vision Pro? I think it depends on how you look at it. It's definitely refining the experience, but it's not redefining it. Apple Intelligence brings some nice AI tools, but they're mostly catch-up features that we're already used to and not really anything groundbreaking. Spatial Gallery is a cool way to showcase new content, but for now it's locked to Apple's curation, so here's hoping that those updates do happen at a swift cadence. Guest mode finally works a lot better, but the content restrictions don't seem to make much sense and are incredibly annoying, especially when on the same device that you're using for AirPlay, you can just open the same app and watch the same content that's playing in the Vision Pro anyway. Plus, doesn't Apple have SharePlay anyway? Why can't we start a SharePlay session between these two devices to solve this problem? At the end of the day, this update is about bridging gaps. It's great progress, but I think I speak for a large majority of Vision Pro owners who would have loved to have seen something genuinely new, like a Vision Pro exclusive Apple Intelligence feature, for example, like we've seen on the iPhone 16 with visual intelligence. Developers, you can download visionOS 2.4 beta right now, and it'll be available to the public in the spring. Thanks for watching as always, guys. I appreciate your support. I'm Andru, and I will catch you in the next video.